Hello guys, this classic game review. So, the game today is Space Hulk, and to be honest, I'm not sure if you can count it along the other classic games because it was only released in 2013, so it's generally a bit newer than the ones that I do under this title.
The Emperor has gifted us with a mission to redeem ourselves. The Blood Angels need no longer carry the burden of defeat. We have detected the sin of damnation near our home planet. Low-frequency scans of the Space Hulk reveal the presence of gene stealers.
Brothers, vengeance shall be ours. Squad Lorenzo, ready for deployment.
So it's a turn-based strategy game, and let's just read what they say on the about the game blurb. We are the vanguard of honor, the cutting edge of the Blood Angels. We bring death. The legendary Space Hulk returns to Windows PC, Mac, Linux in this turn-based strategy game. Set in the Warhammer 40k universe, an intriguing story of legendary battles and heroic actions unfolds. Play as a small squad of fearless Space Marine Terminators who attempt to reclaim their honor by mounting an assault on a derelict Space Hulk infested by hordes of vicious Tyranid gene stealers. Take control of the Adeptus Astartes of the Blood Angel chapter and guide them towards glory. While battling fierce Xenos and uncovering ancient relics in the infested confines of the massive Space Hulk named the Sin of Damnation. This game is a 3D digital turn-based strategy game that creates the classic claustrophobic atmosphere of the board game in both single and multiplayer. And then it's just got a list of what it calls the key features, so I think I should read through because that'll give you probably the knowledge you need. So the first Space Hulk compute game in 17 years, available on multiple platforms. Set in hugely popular Warhammer 40k universe, or 40,000. Official license of the legendary board game from Games Workshop. Blood Angel Terminators fight the ferocious gene stealers with heroes of the mighty Blood Angels. You keep going on about Blood Angels. It is true, there are Blood Angels. There's a DLC where you can actually play Spaceballs, and I think it's important, really, that I should say the main difference is that Spaceballs have slightly better melee attacks. They've got more hammers and claws and you know, like electric fists and all this. But while I'm on the subject, I also want to say, like, it can be a bit frustrating using melee in this. So the main game is obviously it's basically a roll of a dice, virtual dice in this case, and if you roll, your marine dies, and I find that melee is a little bit under strength, perhaps, considering that you get like captains who are mostly melee and they can get taken out very early on.
Without death, there can be no sacrifice.
Thematic 3D environment, experience the dark labyrinth that Space Hulk has never before. Yeah, so there is a little bit of tension, sort of supernatural spaceship, and there's these monsters hunting you down. And the one thing that they do, it's only really a small touch, but like, it's pretty cool, I think it's cool, is that in the top right, you can see what you see the first person from your Marine's eyes. Usually the view's a bit dark because obviously they're in this sort of dark spaceship, and to turn and then suddenly see like an approaching gene stealer, it's a nice touch, There are a few campaigns. This is something I'm going to try and make some good points. So one of the most important things, I suppose, is the lifespan. Now, the gameplay is pretty well chopped up. I mean, it is basically shooting gene stealers or trying to anticipate where they're going to be so you can shoot them on Overwatch. But the missions do vary. There's all kinds of objectives, different maps, and they use a lot of different textures. So even though this game is not like graphically that detailed, they only have to supply a sort of bird's eye view of all the corridors. I mean, you know, to put it into context, it's, you know, it's not that much stuff to do, but for what's there, they have actually done it really lovingly and with some care. I mean, the 3D models of the Space Marines are amazing. I love them, and I love the fact that they've all got the names that we're so used to, you know, and you know, it's very much an authentic Warhammer experience. And yeah, it does, even though the gameplay is simple and can be repetitive, it can stay fresh. Another thing I mention is that when you if you kill a Gene Stealer, oftentimes it will switch to a sort of close-up third-person view, and you'll see an animation of the Gene Stealer being shot to death, and that's neat. I love the animations in this. Yeah, fairly simple game, really fun. You can even play it with friends. You have friends play as the Gene Stealers. Down points, well, there is always an element of luck here. I wouldn't say it's as simple as blackjack, but there is an element of luck involved, because if your Marines bolter freezes, or they get jammed sometimes, they forget how to use a sword. There's a big corridor. One moment you might be shooting 3 or 4 of them at once, and the next a barn door. So there's a little bit of luck involved, but there's also like a sort of infinite strategic possibilities as well. And when you get used to the game, it can be quite satisfying, actually. The board game and the Warhammer universe, you can't really go wrong here. I guess, as I was saying, sometimes, you know, your men aren't as tough as you would want. Now, if you play on anything above easy, this game is not easy. I mean, Sanctus Reach, I don't know if I call that easy, but it's a bit harder than that, I'd say. On the whole, the first campaign, yeah, and then the ones to follow just get very, very hard. But that's cool, you know. Anyway, that'll be it for now, I think, on that. I think I've covered it pretty well. So, yeah, always worth a look. Probably on sale most of the time on Steam, seeing as it's quite old. It does have quite a few achievements. I've got maybe 2/3 of them myself. Anyway, that'll be that now, folks. One more thing, I'd just like to say that I do sell stuff on Amazon. If you want to have a look, click the link from my channel homepage, or hopefully I'll put it in the description below. I just like to put that out there as a little ad for, you know, buy some stuff off me off Amazon. Have a look. I've got some interesting items. I try and collect stuff that I like myself. So anyway, guys, I'll signing off, and cheers.